Ladies and gentlemen, Arknights have a number of limited banners that will soon be released to global server. So in this video I will show you each of the known upcoming limited banner and their operators. And let's see which one is the most recommended to pull. Okay, this video was made after Nymph's debut banner. So that means the next new operator banner, and also the first limited banner on this list, is from the Dungeon Meshi collaboration event. As most already know, since this is from a collab event, featuring characters from other IP, this banner is considered a true, or super limited, which means there's a low chance we will ever get a rerun. So if you missed this event, or didn't manage to get the collab operators, might as well say goodbye to them forever. Luckily Arknights tend to be generous on collaboration event. Like how the game will give you some free pulls, and you are guaranteed to get the top rarity at 120 pulls. With that being said, let's take a closer look at the abilities of these collab characters. As you might have already seen, they are the members of Lyos Party. You should get Senshi as the free 5-star unit from this event. And he is our newest Guardian Defender, that can provide healing, random buffs, and can also provide a buff for Marcel and her unique gimmick. The gacha 5-star is Chilchuck and Lyos. Chilchuck is an agent vanguard, and is pretty unique, because he received a module before anyone else in his archetype. He also has immunity against environmental damage for a few seconds after deployment, and is overall a pretty good agent vanguard to help you gain DP. But honestly, if you already haven't built Cantabile, or even Inez, I think they are better to bring as your agent vanguard. Unless perhaps you are playing with the whole Lyos party. Now for Lyos, he is our newest Dreadnought guard, and is the second unit who can inflict frightened debuff in this game. But to be honest, gameplay wise I think he's more of a meme unit. Alright, the 6-star is none other than Marcel. You have probably heard that she has a unique mana mechanic that replaces her SP, which is an interesting gimmick. But honestly, it's more of a hindrance to her performance, unless you're using her skill 2. As you can see, Marcel's talent will also increase her attack and AoE radius, if she has a mana. While her talent 2 will give her some initial mana, so that her skills can be used quicker after the stage start. And she will give buff to herself, and other members of Lyos party, if all of them are on the same team. For her skills, Marcel is mostly known for her skill 2. It's an awesome AoE arts damage skill to handle swarms and disrupt enemies. Not to mention it has infinite duration. But her skill 1 is also known to provide a big amount of healing, if she doesn't attack an enemy. But I still recommend you use a full-time healer instead. And skill 3 can provide big burst damage, although because of its nature, Marcel is pretty much forced to become a heli drop unit. So that's Dungeon Meshi collaboration limited banner. Honestly, compared to all of the limited banner in this video, this banner can be considered unnecessary to pull, at least gameplay wise. Because you ought to easily find better alternative to what these new operators do. But then again, they are characters from a popular anime and manga series that will probably won't come back to the game. And those reasons should be enough to make it a priority for some of you. Then after this, the next limited banner should be the one with Lapi Alta and Vulpes Foglia. That should be released in April, or maybe May. The gacha 5-star in this limited banner is someone called Figurino, our newest merchant specialist. You can constantly bind multiple enemies with his skill 2. But at the cost of he will absolutely drain your DP. So you might want to prepare 2 or more Vanguard. And talking about Vanguard, like most limited banner in this game, this banner features 2 new 6-star. And the standard 6-star is a new pioneer Vanguard called Vulpes Foglia. She's known for 2 things, a Vanguard with strong skills and useful utilities. And the mother of our light. Mama Fox got a first talent that will allow her to deal additional arts damage to the enemies. And a second talent that gives her self-sustainability. And a unique ability that speeds up natural DP generation. Typically the skill most people will use is just her skill 3. Not only does it gives DP, but it's also a strong DPS skill for a Vanguard that comes with stun to disrupt enemies. And pretty much gives her a permanent camouflage if she defeats an enemy with this. Meanwhile, the limited 6-star is none other than Lappy Alter, or Laptop. Laptop is famous for her high arts damage, silence debuff, and global range. In her first talent, over time her drone will get a buff. Like increased damage, gives silence on every attack, and ultimately, increasing her drone by 1. While her second talent will give all Italians initial SP bonus, including herself. When talking about her skills, the favorite choice is her skill 3. That is a great damage and crowd control skill. But no doubt what makes it truly great is the global range. Other than that, her skill 1 also offers a permanent global range with an attack bonus. But the catch is her drones will only attack target that isn't moving. While skill 2 might be an alternative if you want to use a skill that can be used more frequent than her skill 3. Or perhaps you want to gamble with that fear effect. So that's Laptop and Mama Fox limited banner. Among all the banners in this video, this banner is definitely one that has the biggest pull value. You got some strong new characters. And a chance to get previous limited units, which some of them are also powerful. Alright, the last limited on the list will be you and Blaze Alter limited banner. As some of you already know, this is another Sui sibling limited banner. And guessing from the previous one, us global dwellers should get this banner as our next half anniversary. Around July, or maybe August. Okay then, let's talk about the gacha 5-star first. It's Tila from Jessica Alter event, who is now called Surfer. Surfer is also an agent Vanguard that can instantly gain DP if she's deployed not near anyone thanks to her talent. And got some skills that can help her gain more DP for the team. As well as skill 2 that makes her steal defense stats from the enemy, which makes her own defense bigger. In the DP generating department I think she's more or less comparable to Cantabile. Or perhaps she can do more if you get her S2 some attack speed bonus. Now let's see the 6-star, the standard first, which is none other than Blaze Alter. Blaze the Igniting Spark is our second 6-star primal caster after Nymph, and specializes in burn element damage. 4 talents. Big Kitty first talent will give any enemies on the map an element damage, if they trigger burn burst effect. And also gives her some HP. While her talent 2 will prevent her from being retreated when her HP goes to 0. But first after her HP reaches 0, she will enter a recovery state, where she is unable to do anything, will get some barrier, and gradually recover her HP. And once full, she can go back to attack enemies. For her skills, you have skill 1 that will put a ring of fire to the friendly unit with the highest HP within her range. And this ring of fire will damage surrounding enemies with arts damage, and also fill up their burn elemental circle. This skill also doesn't make her enter SP lockout. So once she activates this skill, she can start charging her SP again. Making the overall skill cycle faster, and normally she should be able to spawn another ring of fire, before the previous one is gone. Meanwhile, Blaze skill 2 is Fire Whistle skill 2 on steroid. This one will change her range, increase her attack, and attack multiple enemies, and each attack to the targets will leave a burning area that will slow down enemies on it, damage them with arts damage, and fill up their burn elemental circle. With the downsides of her attack interval become longer, and she loses some HP every time she attacks. Lastly, skill 3 is an ammo based skill. It will also change her range, increase her attack, Her attacks become AoE, and greatly reduce her attack interval. This is sadly her only skill that doesn't let her fill up the burn element circle on her own. But to make up for it, if she attacks enemies under burn burst effect, she will deal additional element damage to them. And gain 2 new ammo if there's an enemy who enters burn burst effect. But be careful, she can also lose HP every time she attacks. Moving on, we have you as the new Sui sibling character, and also the limited in this banner. I have talked about him recently, so I'll keep this one short. He's a top tier primal defender, who has a first talent that will give him sanctuary effect when he blocks an enemy, and instantly damages the enemies he blocked with arts damage, and fills up their burn circle. While talent 2 is a self-sustain ability that will active if there's at least 4 units on the field. For skills, skill 1 will make use aggro bigger, and has the active effect that will boost his defensive stats, and also inflict burn damage to whoever dares to attack him. While skill 2 is what makes him unique, because it will teleport enemies directly to his tile. And aside from that, you also get more buffs to his stats. Lastly, skill 3 will give him some buff. But what makes this one interesting is that firewall. If any arts damage from allies went through that fire, their attacks will also deal burn damage, which can result to an interesting combo with other operators. So that is you and Blaze Altar limited banner. We got some good new operators from here. But honestly, because Blaze Altar heavily relies on other burn damage dealers like you, getting her without having you will really feel incomplete, more than having Nymph without having Virtuosa. So that usually means the priority in this banner is to get you first. But some might also think getting him is already more than enough. That should be all. Adios.